this video, I'm going to quickly cover all the solutions to the math section of the NPAT model paper which is given on the official website. This is the 2020 website and the model paper which is given for this year. Now, a lot of students wanted to know the solutions to these questions and how to work them out. So when I first opened the paper and saw the questions of mathematics, they seemed a bit difficult. But quickly when I started solving them, I found that more than 3/4 of the questions, that is more than 30 questions out of 40, were actually very simple and can be solved using various shortcuts if you understand the fundamental of the subject. There are a few questions which I have termed as medium or lengthy, which can be reasonably avoided if you are not very strong with your calculations. And also there are a couple of problems which I have said to be extremely difficult, or at least the concept which is not very clear, and hence I would very strongly suggest that you leave. So I have not solved a couple of examples which I would strongly suggest that a student who is average or below average can leave in the paper. So having said that, let's quickly take a look at some of these questions, and at the end of each question I'll also tell you what is my assessment of that question, whether it is easy, lengthy, whether you should be attempting it or not in the paper. So the very first question says x is equal to 2 plus 2 raised to 1 by 3 minus 2 raised to 2 by 3, and you have to find the value of x cube minus 6x square plus 18x. So at first sight this seems like a very typical problem where you know the exact value of x, so you might be tempted to find out the value of cube root of 2 and the square of the cube root of 2 and just put the values. But instead of that, we can actually solve this equation. So what comes to my mind is that x का value दिया है and I need x cube, right? So with x is 2 plus 2 raised to 1 by 3 minus 2 raised to 2 by 3, I will simply shift the equation a bit and I will write that x is equal to 2x minus 2 is equal to 2 raised to 1 by 3 minus 2 raised to 2 by 3. Now I'm going to cube on both these sides because x cube chahiye, so I'll put the cube on both these sides. So now we must know the identity that a plus b the whole cube is nothing but a cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square plus b cube. That is the identity, where here I can say the value of a is x and the value of b is minus 2. This minus sign is important. So x minus 2 the whole cube, it gets expanded into x cube plus 3 times x square into minus 2, that is ab square, plus 3, that is a square b, plus 3ab square. So x into minus 2 the whole square plus b cube, that is minus 2 the whole cube. And comparing it to the right hand side, right? So the right hand side also gets as a cube plus 3 into a square into b plus 3 into a into minus 2 raised to 2 by 3 square plus minus 2 raised to 2 by 3 whole cube, right? So if you write this down, you'll be able to understand, right? It's a bit haphazard on the screen, but that's fine. Okay, so solving the left hand side, I get x cube plus 3 into x square into minus 2, that is minus 6x square plus 12x minus 8, and the right hand side I will simplify this and I will get this as 2 minus 3 into 2 raised to 4 by 3 plus 3 into 2 raised to 5 by 3 minus 4, right? So now I'm going to simplify this. The left hand side becomes x cube minus 6x square plus 12x, and on the right hand side, simplifying and rearranging the terms, 3 into 2 raised to 5 by 3 minus 3 into 2 raised to 4 by 3 plus 6. So now if I want to compare, I need x cube minus 6x square plus 18x. So adding 6x on both the sides will get me the value. So left hand side x cube minus 6x square plus 18x. How? I added 6x, and where do they get a value of 6x? So 6x is nothing but this value of x which is already given. So on the right hand side I get 3 into 2 raised to 5 by 3 minus 3 into 2 raised to 4 by 3 plus 6 plus 6x. So 6 times 2 plus 2 raised to 1 by 3 minus 2 raised to 2 by 3. And if you simplify the right hand side, all the power terms get cancelled. You will get the final answer is 18. So as you can see, there is a little bit of logic that you will have to apply, that taking 2 on the opposite side in the initial and then cubing it will give you the answer. So this I'll term as not a very difficult problem, but definitely above average. And the most crucial part is that it is a lengthy problem. So if you're not comfortable with quick calculations or algebra and it doesn't strike, then it's obvious that you can leave this question, right? If you have enough time at the end and nothing else to solve, then it's worth attempting. But you have got enough other questions to solve, then this one can be left in the exam. Chalo. Moving ahead with the next question. It is given, what is the perimeter of a circular field whose area is equal to a triangular field and whose sides are 35, 53 and 66. So it looks like a very typical question of mensuration, area and volume, but actually it's a very simple problem, right? So first I need to find out the area of a triangular field. For the triangle, I know that the three sides are 35, 53 and 66. And when the three sides of the triangle is given, then the area can be found out by using Heron's formula. So what is Heron's formula? The area is given by under root of S into S minus A into S minus B into S minus C, where S is nothing but the semi-perimeter or half the perimeter. So in this case, the value of S is nothing but 35 plus 53 plus 66 divided by 2, in which case I get the semi-perimeter is 77. So putting the formula, I get the area of the triangle will be this under root of S into S minus A, that is 42, into S minus B, 24, into S minus C, that is 11. Now instead of multiplying it, because I have to find the square root, I'll find the factors. So 7 becomes 7 into 11, then 42 is nothing but 7 into 6, 24 is 6 into 4, and I have got my 11. So 2 times 7, 2 times 11, 2 times 6 and 1 2. So that means 7 into 11 into 6 into 2. The 6 just check the calculations, right? The value of the area, it will come out to be 7 into 11 into 4 into 3. So 7 into 11 into 4 into 3, or 7 into 11 into 6 into 2. Okay, this is also fine. So 7 into 11 into 6 into 2 is my area. Now the area of the circular field is the same. So pi r square is equal to the value 7 into 11 into 6 into 2. So you can find the value of r square as RHS upon pi. So you get the value is equal to 7 square. You will get the value of r square, and you simplify it, you get the value of r. Now all you have to do is find the circumference, and the circumference is given by 2 pi r. So once you get the value of r square, you find the value of r, you substitute in 2 pi r, and you will get the final answer should be 44 root 6. So 44 root 6 is the value. And remember, they have clearly stated take the value of pi as 22 upon 7. That will help you ease of calculation. So this problem, if you know Heron's formula, is I consider an easy to medium level problem, right? Easy to medium level because it just involves a lot of calculations, and if you know how to use Heron's formula, then it's just a matter of quickly finding out the value of the numbers. Chalo. Moving ahead to the third problem. Now it says that a car travels from A to B at 40 kilometers per hour. 1/3/4 hour later, the car, so let's start writing down the data. So the distance from A to B is given as 40, right? No, the speed of A to B is given as 40 kilometers per hour. So it is traveling at the speed of 40 kilometers per hour. Now 1/3/4 hours later, another car starts from A and it travels at 48. So the second speed is given as 48 kilometers per hour. Now let's assume that the first car takes t time. Now the second car, how much time does it take? Now it started 1 hour 45 minutes late and still reached 15 minutes early. That means it reached total 2 hours earlier than the other car. It started 1.45, 1 hour 45 minutes late and still reached 15 minutes early. Means total 2 hours it consumed less. Now, the distance in both the cases is exactly the same. Distance 1 is equal to distance 2. So, speed 1 into time 1 is speed 2 into time 2. That means 40 multiplied by t is equal to 48 multiplied by t minus 2. If you solve this, you will get the value of t is 12. So the distance you can substitute in any one of these sides. So 40 multiplied by 12, I get the distance between the two is equal to 480. Very simple sum, right? Nothing much here. So I would call this a sitter. Any person who is confident with time, speed and distance should definitely be solving this sum. This should be done in less than a minute's time. The fourth question. Now this is a very typical problem, right? It is installments and it is compounded half yearly. So here I know that the principal amount is 50440. The rate of interest is given as 10%, but as it is half yearly, effectively I will take it as 10 divided by 2, that is 5%. The total number of installments that I have to put is 3 and each installment is x. So the formula here is given P into 1 plus R upon 100, the whole raised to 3 is equal to x into 1 plus R by 100 the whole square plus x into 1 plus R by 100 plus x. So substituting the values, the final equation that you will get is x can be calculated as 50440 into 1.05 the whole raised to 3, the whole divided by 1.05 square plus 1.05 plus 1. The simplification of this gives you the answer as 18522. Now, calculating this part is the toughest one, right? If you have access to a virtual calculator on the examination, then it's very simple, you can calculate. But if you have to physically calculate that, then I would suggest that you don't attempt this problem, because the division portion here is the toughest part, right? So it's a lengthy one. If you have access to an online calculator, then it is good. If not, then I would recommend that you can skip this problem. Chalo. The next one, a pretty interesting problem. It's given root of 52 minus 14 root 3 plus root of 7 plus 4 root 3 upon the root of 11 minus 6 root 2. The whole is x plus 5 root 2. Then what is the value of root x plus y? Now this is something known as surds, and I'll teach you the surds property, and any problem which looks like this can be solved using that simple property. So first let's take the first part, 52 minus 14 root 3. Technically I can break this down as 49 plus 3 minus 2 into 7 into root 3. I split the 52 into 49 plus 3. 14 root 3 can be written as 2 into 7 into root 3. And you can quickly identify this is 7 square plus root 3 square minus 2 into 7 into root 3. So can I not write it as 7 minus root 3 the whole square, right? So under root of 52 minus 14 root 3 will be simply 7 minus root 3. Similarly, 7 plus 4 root 3 can be written as 4 plus 3 plus 2 into 2 into root 3, which is nothing but 2 plus root 3 the whole square. So if you are able to understand this, then we can also quickly identify that the top now can be written as 7 minus root 3 plus 2 plus root 3 upon under root of 11 minus 6 root 2. Now under root of 11 minus 6 root 2 can be taken, we can multiply this by under root of 11 plus 6 root 2, again the top also by 11 plus 6 root 2. So multiplying and dividing it by the same number does not change the value. Why did we do this? Take a look at it. The top, which is 9 into root of 11 plus 6 root 2. The bottom is a plus b into a minus b. So that becomes a square minus b square, right? So that becomes root of 121 minus 72. And 121 minus 72 is equal to 49. So this simplifies into 9 by 7 into under root of 11 plus 6 root 2. Now, using the same trick that we saw above, 11 plus 6 root 2 can also be split into 3 plus root 2 the whole square. So this becomes 9 upon 7 into 3 plus root 2 the whole square ka square root, that is 9 upon 7 into 3 plus root 2. So once you know that x plus y root 2 is equal to this, you can compare and get that the value of x is 27 upon 7. If you compare, you open the right hand side and you compare, you get the value of y is equal to 9 by 7. So adding them and finding the square root, you will get 6 by root 7. So all you have to do is the simplification, which I'm not showing, but the funda that you have to understand is that the number can be split like this. 7 plus 4 root 3 can be split like this, right? So this is, I would consider, a lengthy problem. If you know the funda of surds, you'll be able to solve this. Else, it's okay to leave such an example in the examination. Now, this is pretty much an interesting problem. It says that the square and hexagon have a same parameter. Square, let's take 4-sided figure, hexagon 6-sided figure, right? So let's assume that the side of the square is A and the side of the hexagon is B. So 4A is the parameter here and 6B is the parameter here. Now I'm going to take the LCM of A and B. I'm going to take the LCM of 4 and 6, right? 4 and 6-sided figure, 12. So let's assume that the two of them are equal to 12. So I get the value is for A is 3. The value for B is equal to 2. So the area for the square will be equal to A square, which is equal to 9. Now the area of a hexagon is nothing but the area of 6 equilateral triangles. Each hexagon is nothing but 6 equilateral triangles of side 2. So 6 times the area of an equilateral triangle is root 3 by 4 of the side square. So that is 6 into root 3 by 4 into 2 square. Simplifying this, 6 root 3. So the areas are in the ratio of 9 is to 6 root 3. If you simplify this, the area is nothing but 3 is to 2 root 3. So the square and hexagon having same perimeter will have the areas in the ratio of 3 is to 2 root 3. This I will consider as an easy problem. The trick is to assume a value which gives you the sides and then finding out the further thing. Also, the funda to remember is area of a hexagon is nothing but 6 times the area of the equilateral triangle whose side is the same as the side of the hexagon. Chalo. The 7th one, trigonometry. If you are afraid of trigonometry, it might seem difficult, but technically very simple. Now, in such problems, what I do is I always assume some value, right? So here I'm going to assume that theta is 45 degrees. Now, why specifically 45 degrees? If I assume theta is equal to 0, then cot of 0 is undefined. If I take theta is equal to 90 degrees, then tan 90 is undefined. So it gives me problems in the calculation. So assuming theta is 45 makes life simple. Why? Because for 45 degrees, sine 45 is the same as cos 45, which is equal to 1 by root 2. Tan 45 is the same as cot 45, which is equal to 1. So by just putting these values, I get 3 times cos 4 theta is nothing but 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 minus 2 times 1 by 8 plus 1 by 8 the whole upon 1 plus 1 plus 2. And simplification will give you the answer as 1 by 4. Now you need to check which of the options gives you 1 by 4. So cos square theta into sine square theta is 1 upon 2 into 1 upon 2, which is also equal to 1 upon 4. As LHS is right hand side, you will get the answer that the first one is the correct option. You can also put the values in the remaining 3 options and check, they will not match. So this, if you just assume values correctly, you will get that it's easy to solve this example. Moving ahead. Now, profit and loss is always an easy kind of a problem to solve if you take the percentage values. So it says that A sold an article to B at 20% profit, right? So A had 100%, 100x, let be the cost price. So he sold it at 120x. So B purchased it at 120x and sold it to C at 30% profit. So 30% over 120 is addition of 36%. So this becomes 156x. So C purchased it for 156x and sold it at a loss of 50%. That means half of 156. He sold it for 78x. Now, the problem is that if B's profit was 140 more than C's profit. Now, the profit which A is making is 20x. The profit which B is making is 36x. Now, if B's profit, that is 36x, and A's profit difference is taken, then I get that 16x is equal to 140. So cost price of article to D, and for D the cost price is 78x. So if 16x is 140, 78x is how much? So 78x multiplied by 140 divided by 16x, the x gets cancelled. You simplify this, you will get 68.25 as the answer. So here it's just a matter of calculation, straightforward application of the concepts of profit, loss and discount, and hence this is a relatively easy problem to solve, should be attempted in the examination. Ninth one. When 3 dice are thrown simultaneously, what is the probability that sum of the numbers is less than 16, right? So when 3 dice are thrown, each dice can have any one of 6 outcomes. So the total number of possible outcomes is 6 into 6 into 6, that is 216. So I have got my denominator. Now I need the probability that the sum is less than 16. So 1 minus probability of greater than equal to 16 will give me the answer. So the maximum sum of the 3 dice can be 6 plus 6 plus 6, that is 18, and 18 can only be achieved in one way, that is when all of them are 6s. The next total of 17 can be achieved by getting either 665 or 656 or 566. There is no other way in which the 3 dice total can be 17. So 3 ways in which 17 can be done. Now, what is the probability that the sum is 16? So one of them can be 4 and the other 2s can be 6s. And this can be done as 466, 646 or 664, that is 3 ways. Or I can have a 5, another 5 and 6. So 556, 565 or 655, 3 ways in which this can be done. There is no other combination which can give you 16, right? So 3 plus 6, total 6 ways in which 16 can come. So 18, 17 and 16, there are 10 ways in which they can come. So the probability of not having this is 1 minus 110 upon 216. That is equal to 206 upon 216. Simplifying that, you will get 103 upon 108. So the probability that the sum of the numbers is less than 16 or not 16, 17, 18 is 103 upon 108. Relatively an easy problem. The only important thing is understanding what are the ways in which the dices can roll out a 16, a 17 or an 18. Okay, now the next problem. A and B working together can complete a task in A days. We always assume that A can complete the task alone in A days, B alone in B days and C alone in C days. So per day, 1 upon A plus 1 upon B, 1 upon 8 is the work done by A and B in one day. Similarly, I get 1 upon B plus 1 upon C is equal to 1 upon 16. Again, this is the work done by B and C together in one day. Now, A has worked for 5 days and B has worked for 6 days. So A and B together have technically worked for 5 days. So 5 days working together, they completed 5 by 8 of the work, right? So from the total work, if 5 by 8 is done, then 1 minus 5 by 8, 3 by 8 of the work is now left. So A has completed his quota of 5 days, B has completed 5 days, and 1 day worth B is yet to work. So now B and C work for 1 day. So 1 upon B plus 1 upon C is already given as 1 upon 16. So B and C working together completed 1 upon 16. So from 3 by 8 you subtract 1 upon 16. Then you get the amount of work which is left is 5 by 16. Now C finishes the work in 16 days. But C has already worked 1 day with B, right? So the amount 5 by 16 is completed by C in 15 days. So in 1 day, how much work can C do? That is 1 into 15 divided by 5 by 16. If I simplify this, then I get that per day C does 1 by 48, which means C alone, invert of this, will be able to complete the work in 48 days. So understand, A did for 5 days, B did for 6 days, and C did for 16 days. So A and B together is 5 days, then B 1 day left. So B and C together is 1 day, so C remaining alone 15 days. That's how we split up these numbers. So I hope you are able to understand this one, a relatively easy problem to solve. If you have got this, then this should definitely be attempted in the examination. Okay, moving on. The next question is, water flows at the rate of 10 meters per minute. So we take the distance per minute as the height or the length of the cylinder. So what data do we have? We know that the radius of the pipe is equal to 2.5 mm, which I will take as 0.25 centimeters. I'll take the height of the pipe or length of the pipe as that 10 meters. So I will take that as 1000 centimeters. Now, the volume of the pipe is nothing but volume of a cylinder, which is equal to pi r square h. So keeping pi as it is, you will get the volume of this cylinder is 1000 pi divided by 16. And because it is 10 meters per minute, I will also get that the rate at which water flows here is 1000 pi by 16 liters per minute, right? Whatever unit it is per minute, I will take that as the rate of flow. Now, the conical flask, which has to, the conical tank which has to be filled, will also have the volume. So the volume of the cone, which is given by 1/3 of pi r square h. So we already know 1/3 of pi, radius is given as 20, depth is given as 30. So simplifying this, I will be getting it as 4000 pi. So if 1000 pi by 16 is the rate of flow, then to fill 4000 pi, how much time do I require? So I divide the volume by the rate of flow, which is 1000 pi by 16. Simplifying this, you will get 16 minutes is the time in which the entire tank will be filled, right? So volume of the tank divided by rate of filling the tank will give you the time in which the tank can be completely filled. So all you have to understand is what is the volume of the cylinder and what is the formula for volume of a cone. This, if you know the formulas, a relatively very easy problem to solve. Okay, the next one, alpha and beta are the roots of the equation. Then you have to find what is mod pi, p. Okay, now the funda here is that whenever an equation ax square plus bx plus c is given equal to 0, if p and q are the roots of this equation, then p plus q is minus b by a and p multiplied by q is c by a. The sum of the roots is given by minus b by a and product of the roots is given by c by a. So for this particular equation, we can get that the sum of the roots alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a, that is minus of minus 3p by 1, which is equal to 3p, and product of the roots alpha beta is c by a, which is p square by 1, which is equal to p square. So what do we have to find out? We have to find out the value of P. Now, if I know that alpha square plus beta square is 3 integer 1 by 9, which I simplify 28 by 9, I can say that alpha plus beta the whole square minus 2 alpha beta is equal to 28 by 9. Why 28 by 9? Because this is the value of alpha square plus beta square. So substituting 3p square minus 2 times p square is equal to 28 by 9. So once you simplify this, you will get the value of p square is equal to 28 upon 7 into 9. And once you simplify this, the mod value of p will be equal to 2 by 3. So the funda to remember is, then when the roots of the equation are given, the sum of the roots is minus b by a, where b is the coefficient of x and a is the coefficient of x square, and the product of the roots is equal to the constant divided by the coefficient of x square. After that, it's simple going. So once you are aware of this funda, this is very easy to solve. Now, a student was asked to find the value of 2 raised to 3 by 5 divided by 2 plus 3 upon 1, 2 by 3 plus 1 upon 5. So I'm going to write this in a simplified form, right? This is nothing but 2 3 by 5 is 5 to this is 13 by 5 divided by 2, that is multiplied by 1 upon 2 plus 3 upon 1 2 by 3 is 3 ones are 3 plus 2 5 by 3 plus 1 divided by 5 upon 2 upon 5 of 1 upon 3. So if you solve this entire thing, you will be getting that the value, step by step solve it, right? Simplify this, then go to this, then add, then divide, simplify this and add of them. You will get the answer is equal to 4. So 4 minus 3 integer 2 by 5 is equal to, you will get the value as 3 by 5. So final answer 3 by 5. Just a matter of simplification. Extremely easy, lengthy but very easy to solve, right? So don't leave this problem. Just try it after you have done the other problems. Always come back and solve this because it's a matter of simplification. And you have to be just careful with how you multiply and divide numbers. Okay. Now set A is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and B is 2, 3, 6, 7. So I have to find the number of elements in the set. So let's first do B minus C. So from B to get B minus C, I take B 2, 3, 6, 7 and from that eliminate everything that is in C. So 6 and 7 are eliminated, which means that the value of B is simply 2 and 3. B minus C is 2 and 3. Now from A, if I subtract these values, for A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, from A if I subtract 2 and 3, then A is nothing but the set of elements 1, 4 and 5. So the number of elements is 1, 2 and 3. So there are total 3 elements in set A. That's it. This is the funda. If you are not able to understand it before, it's just a matter of understanding what these notations are, right? So simple. The number of elements in A is nothing but 3. Relatively easy problem if you know what the funda of these notations in set theory are. Okay. 15th one. A class has 178 students. Total 178 students. Okay. Now there are 3 subjects. So I'm going to draw the 3 subjects, right? And when set theory, Venn diagrams are easiest. So 100 students study maths, 70 students study physics, and 45 students study chemistry. Okay. Now 32 students study maths and physics. So this total here is 32. 29 are math and chemistry. So this 29 and 25 study physics and chemistry. So 25. And 18 study all 3. So all 3 is 18. So from here we start filling in the data. If this total area is 32, from which all 3 occupies 18, then pure maths and physics and nothing else is 32 minus 18. So this figure becomes 14. Similarly, only maths and chemistry is 29 minus 18, which gives you 11. and only physics and chemistry but not maths is 25 minus 18, which gives you 7. So from 100, if I subtract 14, 18 and 11, then pure maths only is 57. From 70, if I subtract 14, 18 and 7, then only physics and nothing else is 31. And if I subtract 11, 18 and 7 from chemistry, 45, I get only chemistry as 9 students. So the question here is the total number of students who study maths only 57, physics only 31, chemistry only 9. 9 plus 1, 10 plus 7, 17, 1 carry 97. So the total number of students studying only maths, only physics and only chemistry is 97. Simple to solve? Good. Right? So definitely worth solving. Instead of putting any set formulas, the easiest way to get this done with is simply to make a Venn diagram. Okay. Now, the next problem, the funda that you have to keep in mind is the price of the product multiplied by the quantity or the consumption of the product is the total expense. So original price into original quantity is original expense. The price increases by 25%. The new consumption I have to find out to maintain the expense down by 25%. So I have got two equations here, right? So if you solve these equations, you will get that the quantity new should be equal to 3/5 of the original. That means it has to come down by 2/5, and 2/5 is nothing but 40%. So 40% is the reduction of consumption that is necessary so that you are able to get it. Okay, relatively very easy problem. Next one. So this was a problem which I was not able to get a quick solution to. So if I'm able to solve it, I'll put it up later, but definitely confusing in the beginning. So I'll strongly recommend that this problem not be attempted. Next one. A discount of 10% is given on the marked price, right? So the selling price is when 10% discount is given on the marked price, and the dealer gets a profit of 125%. So the same sale price is 25% profit over the cost price. So now I have my equation 90 by 100 marked price is 125 cost price. So the marked price is, if I solve this, 125 by 100 of the cost price. Okay. Now it says if the dealer offers a discount of 25 on the same article, that means if now I have to find out 25% less on the marked price, that means 25% less on 125 by 100 of the cost price, then this becomes 125 upon 120 of CP. So the person is getting a profit of 5 over 120. So 5 is what percentage of 120? If you calculate, then you get 5 is what percentage of 120? You get 4.16%. So definitely a profit. So profit of 1 upon 6 percentage, because 0.16 is nothing but 1 divided by 6. Moving on, a relatively easy problem, the 18th one. Okay, the 19th one. Now this is a funda that you have to know, right? The formula that you have to know is simply that a cube plus b cube plus c cube is nothing but 3 times abc plus a plus b plus c into a square plus b square plus c square minus ab minus bc minus ca. This is a formula that you will have to remember. Let me put up that formula once again on the screen, right? So the funda here is that a cube plus b cube plus c cube is given by the formula 3 times abc plus a plus b plus c into a square plus b square plus c square minus ab minus bc minus ca. We already know the value of abc. We know what is the value of a plus b plus c. We know the value of a square plus b square plus c square. Now we can find out the value of AB plus BC plus CA by using the funda that A plus B plus C the whole square is nothing but A square plus B square plus C square plus 2 times AB plus BC plus CA. So 10 square is equal to 40 plus 2 times AB plus BC plus CA. So you get the value of AB plus BC plus CA is 30. So the value of A cube plus B cube plus C cube, substitute, you get 3 times minus 11 plus A plus B plus C is 10. Then A square plus B square plus C square is 40. AB plus BC plus CA is 30. And once you simplify this, the final answer you will get as 67. So here it's a bit tricky, right? Because it's formula based. If you know the formula that A cube plus B cube plus C cube minus 3ABC is A plus B plus C into A square plus B square plus C square minus AB minus BC minus CA, then you will be able to solve it. But if you are not aware of the formula, then definitely it's a tricky one and can be left in the exam. 20th problem. 5 cos square theta plus sin square theta minus 6 is equal to 0. So I can simplify this as 5 cos square theta plus 5 times sin square theta plus 2 times sin square theta minus 6 is 0. Why? Because now I can do this. 5 cos square theta plus sin square theta plus 2 times sin square theta minus 6 is 0. Now cos square theta plus sin square theta is 1. So this becomes 5 plus 2 times sin square theta minus 6 is 0. So I get the value of sin theta is equal to 1 upon 2. Sin square theta is 1 upon 2. So sin theta is nothing but 1 divided by root 2. Now if you know that sin theta is 1 upon root 2, then you can simplify tan theta minus sec theta upon tan theta plus sec theta as sin upon cos minus 1 upon cos divided by sin upon cos plus 1 upon cos. So this gets simplified as sin theta minus 1 upon sin theta plus 1. Substitute the values and simplify. You will get the answer is equal to 2 times root 2 minus 3. So 2 times root 2 minus 3. All you need to do is be able to identify how to get the value of sin theta. Once you do that, answer pretty much simple. Right? So this was the first 20 problems of NPAT. I hope you are able to get most of them. I'll be quickly uploading the second part of the remaining 40 problems, and you will see that how it's easy to score at least 3/4 of the entire mathematics section using a lot of basic funda and formula.